Hey, what's up, all you gig economists out there? Chatty Gig Economist here. It's 7:17 on Sunday, February 2nd. Hey, it's Groundhog Day. But today's also Super Bowl Sunday. You know, Sundays tend to be the busiest day for Instacart, actually for all the platforms. So I'm working 8 to 2 for Instacart, and then we'll do DoorDash after that. Now you can see I'm wearing my workout gear right now because I'm going to do my Beachbody workout.
Alright, so I just did my workout. It took a little over a half hour. My heart rate got pretty high there, 161. Took a shower. I actually missed a batch when I was in the shower, but that's okay. And another one just came through, which was garbage. So I'm gonna make breakfast, and I'm gonna make some eggs. And I got the spinach and feta chicken sausage. I actually got this for free from a no-show yesterday. And maybe I'll have a yogurt after that, so getting some protein after that workout, and hopefully a good offer will come in soon. Alright, so I just grabbed this out of the on-demand queue. It's a big order, but there's no deli or subs, and, I know the store really well, so I should be able to knock this out probably in 20 minutes or less. So it might look like a nice sunny day out, but it's actually 47 degrees, feels like 43, so it feels like I'm back in New York, even with especially with the leaves on a tree like that. So, I'm actually wearing long pants, got my winter coat on, winter quote unquote. I have to wear these cheesy mittens because they're actually, you can use the smartphone while you're wearing these. And I got my LED hat here. I'll show you that in a minute. Grab my water bottle, and I don't know why this is in here. And before we leave, I just want to start the robot vacuum cleaner, so when I come back, these floors will be nice and clean. Alright, let's go. Alright, it's a little after 9. In the sun, it's not too bad, but it's pretty chilly in the shade. Alright, so let's get this first batch done. Alright guys, so it's 9:29 and change. I'm going to show you how to select your hours even when you're in the middle of the order. So I'm going to kill the app, kill everything else, reopen the app. In fact, I'm already a few seconds behind. Tap hours down here, next week, boom. Start grabbing my hours, even though I'm in the middle of a batch. That's up to about a half hour. I hate, this store uses these short paper bags. The idea is, they say the last couple inches at the top aren't used. So they're like, we'll just make shorter bags. But it's a pain in the ass because you can't put as much stuff in it. And I use that top part bag to roll it down so you have a hand bag. Or sometimes I use the entire bag. I had to substitute, well, not half, but maybe a good quarter or a third of this lady's order. And I'm sure that's going to cut into my tip. Alright, so let's go make the delivery. I don't know if you can see this, but I got my LED hat, says enjoy your food and have a great day. I use this mostly for DoorDash, but it's also applicable for Instacart. Let's see if it helps with this. Alright, small order. 17 items. Knock this whole thing out in under 5 minutes. And then as soon as I get to the register, the lady wants to add one more thing. So, normally I wouldn't, but I went back, hoping this is going to help cash tip or something. I guess we'll find out. I know I just ate breakfast with, egg, sausage, and yogurt, lots of protein. But I'm starting to get hungry. It's only 10, not even 10:30, so I got a Cliff Bar here. I buy these in bulk from BJ's. You get a 24 pack for like $15. These things are great for snacking. Alright, so it's 10:42. I've been online for just under 2 hours, and I'm up about $34 and change. And surprisingly, there's nothing in the OD queue here. Actually, let me go back online. Oh, see, it won't let me go back online, which means I probably got an alright. Let me see if I can just select hours manually. What's today? Yeah, I can. Alright, so I'm going to stay online till 4, and then after that I'll do DoorDash. This may not always work, unless it's a Sunday. Alright.
Well, I gotta wait 17 minutes before I can start. So let's switch to DoorDash and see if there's anything good on there.
Alright, I'm at Walmart, so while we're waiting, I'm going to check out the on-demand queue here. It says 4 batches available. They're all fairly low. Oh, this one just bumped up. You know what? For $20, I'll take it. So I'm going to have to knock out this Walmart order, and then there's actually an Aldi not too far from here, so I'll just go to that Aldi instead of the one on the other side of town. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. I finished that Walmart order. That came in at 10:44. I dropped it off at 11:22, so that was just under 40 minutes. It was $9.89, and the lady gave me a $6 tip in the app, like immediately, which is really rare. So just under $16 for 40 minutes of work, I guess is, acceptable, but it seemed like it was way longer than that. So let's knock out this Aldi order. It's fairly small. Alright, this was not 17, 18 item order. It was like 40 or something. But I still knocked it out in about 20 minutes. What time is it? Almost noon. So if I drop this off a little before 12:30. And I guess we'll take a lunch break if it's dead. But this is going to take a little bit to check out. Put all your bags in there. That way there's a little bit of meat in one, and produce in one, and then pantry in one, and dairy in one. It's just so much easier to do. Although you can always use the sacking table, as they call it. I'll have to do a video about all these things. Alright, sorting all the bags, like cold, frozen, produce, chips and bread, all that. Pantry. That's the easiest way to bag at Aldi. Alright, that took a little longer than I thought it was going to. A little longer than I would prefer. I mean, I still got about $20 out of it. No cash tip at the door or anything. And of course, as soon as I swipe delivery complete, Instacart tries to send me a shitty $12 double batch, like 15 miles south of here out in the middle of nowhere. I'm only 3 miles from my house, so I actually hit the take a break button, and I'm gonna go home and make lunch. So that should time out perfectly. 20 minutes is enough time to get home, eat lunch, and maybe I'll fire up DoorDash. But let's just go home and eat lunch. At home, you can see the vacuum did an okay job. It actually got stuck. I had to unstick it. So I made lunch. Got a ham and turkey panini with tomato and lettuce, and I also changed my shirt. Because it's warm enough out that I don't really need to wear a long sleeve shirt, and if it gets cold later, I'll just throw a hoodie on. So I'm gonna eat lunch and see what's going on YouTube and get back to work. Alright, so let's see how much we've made so far. So I've made $55.14 on the 3 Instacart batches, all over $17 each, which is actually pretty rare these days. Usually they're like $13 or less. Plus, I did have that one DoorDash delivery, $15.89 for Walmart. So let's do the math. So $15.89 plus $55.14 equals $71.03. And let's see, I think I left the house like just before 9. And I finished up that last order like 12:45 or so. So about 4 hours, maybe a little over 4. So let's divide that by 4. And it's $17.75. Is the average so far, which is pretty good. I'd prefer it to be a little bit higher, but I'll take what I can get. So yeah, so far so good. Although I will say my break ended a few minutes ago, and Instacart has been throwing me a few crappy batches, and hopefully something good will come real soon. So alright, so hopefully we can get back to work soon. If we don't, I'm going to go back on with DoorDash. Alright, so this is funny. I'm just watching YouTube on my break here, and I'm watching this Jay Drinks Beer and Reese's Hate Mail. And it's Jerry, not Harry, or Jay, whatever his name is. And he's reading one of my comments from like last February or something. I barely remember writing this, so I thought that was a really funny coincidence. Alright, so what time is it? Almost 1:30. I'm going to eat an apple, and then we'll be out the door at 1:30, and we'll work another 4 hours or so. Alright, so we're here at the Winter Springs Publix on 434. It's actually one of my preferred stores. It's a little bit out of the way, but this shopping plaza here is nice. There's a Tijuana Flats and the Huey Magoo's over there, and there's a pizza place and a lot of good places to eat. I just checked the weather and it said it's only 63 out. It feels like 61, but it feels like it's like 75 or so just because it's so sunny. So, but yeah, it was only 9 miles to get here, like 15 minutes, so easy drive. Man, that was a pain in the ass shop. It's only like 26 items, but she kept adding stuff through the chat. She's like, can you get cookies? Can you get yogurt? Can you get, that's not the right yogurt that I want. I actually texted her back. I said, you're killing me, Smalls. She thought it was funny. Alright, we're back in Lake Mary. It's about 11 miles from the last store. But I wanted to get back to this area. This shopping plaza right here has lots of restaurants for DoorDash. But I got a fairly decent double batch shop out of this store. One customer is right around the corner. The other customer is a few miles away. Kind of a haul from here, but I don't know. This was kind of one of those batches I could have took it or left it. I took it. I have a feeling one of the customers did the tip, maybe not open the door afterwards. But it's a fairly small order, so let's go knock this out.
Alright, so here's my day on Instacart. 94.84 on 5 batches. That last batch at 2:30, only 15 and a half. Wasn't really worth it. I mean, I had to drive it's like 10 miles to the store, and then it was another 10 miles of total delivering. So that was 20 miles to drive to make $15 plus the time it took to shop. So that wasn't really worth it. If the quality bonus was still a thing, and I could have got an extra 6, then it would have been. But yeah, but on the day though, and that one right after lunch, the lady kept adding stuff, and I ended up making $24 and change off that, so that was pretty good.
Alright, I just took a $4 Chipotle order. It's only going 4 something miles. I don't know why I took this. But I like coming to Chipotle. They're quick and easy. The food's almost always already ready. But I can tell this person didn't tip. Remember, they tipped $1. So let's go get this done. Alright, so I just picked up this big order from Miller's Ale House. They're kind of like a sports bar chain here in Orlando. This thing is so big though, it wouldn't even fit in one of my Ozark Trail bags that I use for Instacart. Well, I was right about that last order. It came in at $14.50 instead of $9.50, so I got an extra $5 there. This Walmart just came in. This is kind of a haul, 12 miles, but it's getting to the good side of town, so I think I'm actually going to take this. Alright, so just got home after hitting the gas station. So I'm going to say that 6 o'clock was my clock out time. In fact, let's bring up the spreadsheet here. If you saw my video from recently, you'll recognize this. So, yeah, I only did DoorDash and Instacart today. I was going to try to squeeze in some Uber Eats. I just never really got around to it. So the schedule, I left the house this morning at 8:45, got back at 12:45, so that was 4 hours, and I was home for, a good 45 minutes. Left the house again at 1:30, came back at 6. Well, I got to the gas station at 6. I'm going to count that as my clock out time. So it's a total of 8 hours and 50 minutes. So I made 53 and change on DoorDash and 94 and change on Instacart. Although I'm still waiting for that last Walmart delivery to tip. Usually, especially in that neighborhood, people do. But it could be a couple hours, it could be a couple days, or it could be a couple weeks, but we'll see. So I bet you they're going to tip $5, maybe $10 on that. So on the gross on the day was just under $150, but I did spend almost $10 in gas. So really I netted $138, and then my hourly wage before expenses was just about 17.48, and 16 and change after expenses. I did drive 121 miles today, which is quite long. I think I drove probably at least 20 or 30 miles more than I probably should have. I did, that taking that one order after lunch, going out of the zone, that had a lot to do with it. But otherwise, I'd say it's a pretty good day. Was able to come home for lunch, 8.5 hours. Actually, it's a little bit more than I usually work, but
While I'm here, let's see how the entire week went. So the entire week I still was under 40 hours, and I still averaged about $19 in change before expenses, $18 in change after expenses. And my miles on the whole week, 467. Really not bad. That's less than 100 miles a day, and I only work 5 days this week. So, yeah. All right, so if you want to get those spreadsheets for yourself, check out thegigeconomystore.ecwid.com or bit.ly/thegigeconomystore. I'll have links in the description box below. Check out Get Upside, check out Gas Buddy, and check out my channel if you're new here. All right, so I'm sure this video was very long. The gig is about to start, and I think I'm going to actually order some DoorDash myself. Maybe we'll do that in a separate video. Chipotle is doing free delivery on bowls, so I'll probably order that. All right, so thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.